What is going on, everybody? Hey, welcome to Note Night in America here. Glad to have you all back here after, hopefully you all had a great holiday weekend last week. It was a very busy, relaxing time for the last two weekends, but honored to be here with you guys back here on Note Night in America. The second half of the year, we are in second half of 2022, and so many people are out there, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And I look at it like, yeah, baby. I like it like that, but before we get into the nuts and bolts, guys and gals, if it's your first time on Note 9 America, make sure to raise your hand. Give us a hello. Tell us where you're living, where you're from. But glad to have you here. We've been doing these for over 12 years now. I always forget that, but welcome to Note 9 in America. 2011, we started doing a webinar conference call, and it's just been amazing. A couple hundred episodes later. Just absolutely excited. If you'd like to catch the replays, you can do so by going to the Note Night in America podcast and any of your podcasting platforms. We are live streaming to YouTube, so if you're watching us on YouTube, hey, welcome. And glad to have you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. We are the number one YouTube channel for note investors out there. Largest, most active, most subscribers, most views. The numbers don't lie, folks, so we're glad to have you. So you can always subscribe by going to weclosenotes.tv and subscribe from there. We also have other podcasts on all the ways that you listen to podcasts, whether it's the Note Closer Show podcast, our big one, just going up on 1.2 million downloads. And then, of course, our Note Camp podcast, our Note Camp Live podcast, which is about 4 different seasons to it. Season 1, Season 2, Commercial 3, and then 4 and 5. We've got that coming up here actually at the end of August. So we're really excited about Note Camp 2022 before too long. But anyway, this coming Saturday, we have our Note Weekend class, our one-day class. If you're brand new to note investing, you're trying to figure out what the heck to do. If you like this is a great class for you to dip your toes in the water. It's the Cliff Notes version of our 3-day training coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend. But if you go to noteweekend.com, it's $49 for you to get a ticket. I'll be teaching that from 9 a.m. to about 3 or 4 p.m. on that Central Standard Time on Saturday. So go to noteweekend.com, get the replays, and really get your real note investing journey started the right way. We do have our monthly membership, WC membership for $97 a month. This includes access to all of our online training. It is the biggest bang for the buck out there, bar none. And I'll tell you that right now. You can go take somebody else's classes. You're not going to be as satisfied with what we offer at $97 a month. Take it all our virtual workshops, Note Camp, all our Note Weekend trainings, all our bank trainings, all our virtual master classes, a weekly coaching call with me, monthly call to go through your business with us. It is an amazing bang for the buck. You can get signed up for that at noteumbrella.com. That's noteumbrella.com for $97 a month. If I can't make you or save you $97 a month, I'm doing something wrong. Trust me, it's well worth it. But anyway, guys, we have a deal I wanted to talk about before we get to the nuts and bolts tonight. We have a deal that we're looking for funding on. It is in Anderson, Indiana. It's a nice little house. It's not the biggest of houses, but it's also not the smallest of houses. This is a picture from our BPO. Our agent went out there and said, hey, this is not bad at all. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,404 square foot house. The payoff, the borrower owes $103,000. It's a reverse mortgage. Borrower deceased. The fair market BPO based on the agent is in the mid 90s. They said a little higher, might be 100. I like to be a little conservative at 90, 95K. Like I said, it's a reverse mortgage, borrower's deceased. We actually have access. We're able to get inside photos. It needs a little bit of work, but not much. Mostly just like $5,000 worth of light maintenance. Might need a new AC, might not. Our goal on this deal, obviously, we're not going to get the borrower back alive. We'll just finish the foreclosure out on this. Because they don't have any people in their state that want to take the property on. So our goal is to foreclose on this note, sell it at either the auction or take it back and sell it on the MLS as an REO, somewhere in that $95,000 range. Like I said, minimal clean out rehab. We've had a guy go through, give us 2 bids, 2 different companies give us bids. They came in at $4,000 to $5,000 for clean out and light maintenance on it. So we're pretty excited about that. Great little neighborhood in Anderson, Indiana. Rent rate, I believe it's like $850, $900 a month. I'd have to take a look. I looked at so many today, but if you want to take this asset down and turn it into a little rental, it would be good for you. But we're looking for $55K from a funding partner for 12 to 24 months on this deal to help us with the foreclosure and sell it off. Like I said, we're not going to maintain this as a rental. We are basically going to buy the note, finish the foreclosure, and sell it at the auction And or if it doesn't sell at the auction, take it back and sell it as is. But that's a current photo of the exterior. It's a nice little neighborhood. If you're interested in putting some lazy assets to work, please drop me an email at scott@weclosenotes.com and just say Indiana non-performing. Like I said, looking for 55,000. We pay you a nice above average return on your money for a short period of time of 12 to 24 months. But really excited about that deal. Just so you know, we're funding the deal roughly at 47. 55 is a little bit extra for the foreclosure costs and a little bit of the due diligence stuff on it and the light maintenance if we need to. But Indiana is about 6 to 9 month foreclosure process. When it's non-contested like this, it should go pretty fast. But anyway, that is the deal of the week that we're looking for some funding on. 50. If you got 55K sitting in an IRA making less than 6-7%, then give me a phone call. We can put that money to work for you and start making above average returns for you. But anyway, let's get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's call. Now, y'all here for the Thrive, your Thrive plan, right? I don't know about you guys, but I laugh because all I see in the news and the media is it's a horrible time. Things are ending. The sky is falling. And for us as note investors, it's not the sky is falling. It's the sky is opening up rain. You know, it's 110 degrees here in Austin, Texas today. It's 108 out in my back patio right now. Okay. We thought the sky was up with rain about 2 o'clock today, but it didn't rain, but that's okay. But my email is, for those that are interested, I'll just put it in the chat roll, is scott@weclosenotes.com. Here's the thing. There's so much of the media is doing so much work for us as note investors. Now, we think differently than those, like, oh my God, real estate's getting more expensive. Interest rates are doubled. It means our costs. And that is the case for most of America. Most of America is going to go through a bit of recession, have a tough time. Okay. They're facing fears. And I know that many of you have these same fears as well. You're facing the fear, especially if you're new to real estate investing. Fears is false evidence appearing real, but we have fears because of the unknown. And that first fear, it's like, well, I haven't done a lot of deals. I haven't done a ton of deals, so I don't really have any experience. Okay. I don't know. Nobody wants to work with me because I'm brand new. Okay. Oh, I don't have money in the bank. I've had this conversation at least a dozen times in the last week. People contacted me, especially a lot of loan officers. We did a marketing piece to loan officers. And they're, oh, I'm excited. I want to do this, but I don't have any money. So I have to wait till I get some money. I'm like, no, you don't have to wait till you get some money. There's plenty of private capital. How many loans, how many cash out refis have you done for people in the last 24 months? Oh, a ton. Well, then reach out to them. They're looking to put that money to work right now because if it's sitting in a bank, it's losing money. Oh, I didn't think about that. Well, market to them. You know, a lot of people couldn't market themselves out of paper bag. Well, I'm not sure how to market to them. Okay, so send a letter, pick up the phone and call them, send them a postcard, pull a list. I mean, when I was a mortgage banker and a mortgage broker, we were doing loans in 30 states. We were traveling every other week to a big conference, and that was our bread and butter. When that conference stopped, when Ronald Reagan got sick and stopped traveling for a while, we had to pivot our marketing. So we started pulling people that had gotten refinances 5 years ago or bought a house 5 years ago who could possibly benefit from a rate decrease, or people that had bought a rental property, their IRA, hey, who are looking for financing. So there's a lot of different ways. There's plenty of opportunity out there. Oh, here's another thing. Well, I let my lack of experience stop me from talking to people. Like, I go to a networking group and I just sit there and watch. I don't ever get in a conversation. I never go up and ask questions. All right. Or I think it's a stupid question, so I'm not going to ask the question, or I'm not going to talk to people. You can't let that do that. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We all start at the same spot. We all start off brand new somewhere. You got to learn how to walk, but first you got to crawl. Before you crawl, you got to take your first step. And if we had to learn how to walk as adults, most of us would be in a wheelchair. Think about that for a second. If a child is scared of falling and they have no experience in walking or running, they would never do it. Think about that. They get up, they want to walk, they want to crawl, they want to move. They're not comfortable sitting in a day crib just being fed a nipple in their mouth all day long of milk, you know what I mean? Or a bottle, I mean. I was thinking rubber nipple, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, what I'm simply saying is, do not let your lack of experience in this specific niche stop you from talking to people, stop you from asking questions, stop you from learning, because it's such an opportunity to learn. Or here you have it. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, I have negative Nancy's all around me. My wife isn't supportive. My husband isn't supportive. You know, my kids aren't supportive. My family, my in-laws think I'm crazy and stupid. You know, they're screaming every time I do something negative. There we go. There's the right button. We all have drags. We all have people that surround us with negative energy. I'm very lucky. I have very few people at all. And the people that are around me, my closest to me, are not negative. They're positive. They're supportive. They're my biggest fans. They're my biggest cheerleaders. You know, but we all have those trolls. We all have those negative people out there that don't want to succeed. Okay. Oh, I don't have a coach, or I come from a different niche field. I don't know where to begin. Well, you know what? There's a lot of places to start. You're in the right spot here at Note Night in America. You're in the right spot listening to my podcast. You're in the right spot by picking up the phone, dropping me an email, scheduling time on the schedule. We all got. So I'm where I'm at because I had great coaches and I had people that directed me in the right way. When I came from a different field and that field is not where I wanted to be, I went out and found somebody to help me in that field who was actually doing deals. I saw something today that blew my mind. Somebody who's an educator out there in the note business who is marketing a white page. 6 places to find deals. And I said, okay, let's see where he's talking. And I pulled it up. And 3 out of the 6 websites are haven't had new deals on them for years. One company's no longer in business anymore. And I'm like, you can tell somebody's not doing the note business when they're just recycling stuff. They haven't done a deal in a while because they're not going. And that's what is going on in the industry. You have a lot of people not doing deals because they're not marketing. They're sitting there. They're not sure of where to go. And if you're brand new, yeah, you're not sure where to go or who to do or what you're not. You don't have self-confidence in yourself because maybe you've never taken that first step. You're scared of falling, busting a knee, get a little bloody. That's okay. That all happens to all of us. But the beautiful thing about the note investing side of things is you're not going out and trying to rehab a property yourself and trying to figure that out. You don't have to do that. In the note business, there's so many different ways and vendors to help you take care of things. And here's the thing. Surviving is not thriving. Surviving is not thriving. And there's points in everybody's life that you go through ups and you go through downs and you survive in that down period and then you start to get back up. Now, how many of you have been surviving for a long time? Maybe you're working a career you dislike. You're making money and you're getting by, but you're not thriving because you hate your job or you don't have any time to yourself. You'd rather be doing something different. Take the opportunity, take the time now, take why you have money coming in to build your runway to success, okay? It's not just about getting by. If you're just barely getting by, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, as Les Brown would say a lot of times, you gotta be hungry, okay? You gotta be hungry. If you're not hungry, then that's part of the problem. You're just gonna settle for the status quo. And here's the thing, if you want to survive, especially with what's going on now in the market, all the changes, the upheaval, you can either sit here and keep listening to those talking heads or the jackasses that aren't doing anything. Oh, there's no deals out there. Oh, da. You got to start playing by a different set of rules. Because if you're playing by their rules, you're not going to win. You're going to get sucked into that negativity or that you can't do anything. That's bullshit. And this is coming from it's hard to believe it, a 30-year-old kid 15 years ago, after being divorced and the market hit, went on to buy $1 billion in distressed debt. Most of it was none of his own money. And he decided to stop playing by other people's rules and he created his own set of rules. You guys can do the same thing. You have to take what is being given to you and adjust, okay? You have to take what the economy is giving. Yes, interest rates have gone up. Inflation is going up. You can either sit here and bitch and moan, oh my God, it costs so much for this. Yeah, it does. It's gotten more expensive. It's not a nickel to go watch a movie anymore. It is $13 mostly, unless you have the membership. Or it's a gallon of gas is $5. Yeah, it sucks to have to drive $5 gallon of gas, but that's because you have to drive. You have picked that destination or job. You pick the truck or the vehicle. And I have a Dodge Ram pickup. It guzzles gas. I don't drive it. I still have like 55,000 miles on it, and I've had it for like 6 years, so I barely drive it anymore. I don't get upset about gas. It's like, okay, I drive my nice truck. It's a cost of doing business. But it also means I adjust things, okay? You have to take what the economy is giving you and adjust it, basically making lemonade out of lemons. And here's the thing, those that will not adjust, there's a lot of fix and flippers, there's a lot of Airbnbers, there's a lot of landlords out there that they're not going to adjust with it to how they found deal or the stuff, and they will not survive. There's a lot of loan officers out there mortgage brokers, mortgage bankers who are still going to try to do business as normal, and they will not survive. Realtors out there. I saw some stat. There was like 12,000 realtors trying to sell 2,000 listings. And I started laughing about that because that's what happened last time. We had a ton of realtors here in Austin, 11,000. That got reduced down to like 4,000. And I guarantee you guys are seeing that all across the country. Realtors, loan officers, people that know real estate, basic real estate, but they don't understand investing in real estate, okay? Most are waiting around for that foreclosure and REO wave to show up. But we know that's not going to happen. Why? Well, the reason your foreclosure wave or REO wave is not going to happen suddenly because it's going to be like a domino effect across the country. Yes, you will see more foreclosures sooner in like the faster foreclosure states like Texas, Georgia, Missouri, North Carolina. Some of those non-judicial states will have foreclosures sooner, but a lot of those deals will get bought up by note investors like yours truly and take the property back. And we're not going to sell it at a big discount. You're not going to get an REO from a bank at a huge discount these days because they know they could sell it off for the most part. Now you'll get a few. I'm not saying you won't find some, but right now, the second half of this year, woo, baby. If you're waiting around for REOs and foreclosures, you'll be waiting until next year, and you can wait to do a deal, or you can start doing a deal these days. And that's what I'm doing. Not stop. We're buying more under contract right now to close this week. Anderson, Indiana is just one of the type of deals that we're doing. Okay. Like I said, if you're a note investor, you're going to see deals 6 to 12 months ahead of retail investors. Oh, I'm trying to find a deal at 10%. Okay, go do it. I wish I could make 6%. Guess what? I've got a deal that'll pay you 6%. What? Yeah, 6%. Yeah, that's a whole lot better than the bank. I'll give it to you 12, 24 months. Wow. Okay. The biggest thing that you have to do with this, ladies and gentlemen, is you have to act. ACT, you have to take action. Not sit around, well, I'm going to just sit here and learn A to Z. No, action. Take action. All right. Yes, you got to learn something, ready, aim, fire. But a lot of us will do better off ready, fire, aim to figure things out. That's what I did back years ago. I had to figure things out. The beautiful thing is, you guys don't have to try to learn the whole process yourself. Okay. Now, what does it mean to act now? Well, that means leveraging your skills, your knowledge, and your skills could be, I've been a realtor for 20 years, I've been a mortgage broker for 30 years, or I do a lot of things. That's great, but you have to pivot it, because if it's not making you money, I've got several friends in New York City who are getting the hell out of the Big Apple. Like, it does not make sense here being Apple. It just is not a friendly place. 2 to 3 years to foreclose, and the evict takes forever. I got to move somewhere else now. Okay. I'm in Austin, Texas. If I've been waiting to buy deals in Austin, Texas, I would have gone bankrupt a whole long time ago. You have to realize that the entire country really is your oyster. And there's parts of those that you're not going to probably eat a lot of. An oyster in California would be like a whole block in Kansas City. You get what I'm saying? But take the knowledge that you have, the skill of how you could communicate and how you network or how you market in that one particular field, and apply it to what you could do in the note business. Okay. And here's the thing, look at the problems facing 99% of Americans. Why do I say 99%? Because you're in the 1%, everybody. If you have the knowledge and the skill of a brain surgeon, you go be a brain surgeon, right? Well, you have the skills and knowledge of better than 99% of investors out there if you understand the note business. Understanding is great, but you do not want to be an educated idiot. You have to pull the trigger. You have to take action and actually apply what you know, the classes, the learning, the workshops, the podcasts, the webinars, and apply it to real life, to be making offers, either making offers or funding deals, make things happen. And we all know the problems out there. Oh my God, inflation's at 40-year highs. Okay, you have to pivot. Okay. Mortgage rates have doubled. Yeah, it's gotten more expensive for a house. If you were able to afford with your monthly budget, your DTI, a $500,000 house, you probably have to reduce that now down to $250,000. Okay. It's not, inflation and mortgage rates are not decreasing the cost of real estate. Yes, prices are dropping down a little bit, but it's a correction. Okay. Most people can't make 6% ROI because they will not take the action. They will continue to work that 40, 50 hours a week for 40 years to make what? A 4% return on their time. Now, what I mean a 4% return on time, because that's really, when you get a pay raise, it's really no more than 4%. You have to be the CEO of your own empire to build your own golden parachute if you want to do that. Okay. And people can't make 6% or greater on the market because they don't take the time. They'd rather spend the time bitching and moaning about inflation, the heat, mortgage rates, whatever, the cost of other things. You know what? We have a nation of crybabies, and there's no crying and no buying, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, you out there, if you know how to do it, you can go find deals right now. I mean, I spent 10 minutes this afternoon looking at a couple websites. I found over 100 deals making a double-digit ROI. Now, am I going to pay somebody a double-digit ROI? Hell no. I might give them half. I might give them 6-7% if it's making me 14% for sure. But you have to start taking action, okay? And this is not some private website out there. Hakeem goes, wow. Well, you know what, Hakeem? I love you, brother. There's plenty of deals out there. And a lot of folks, they get in the note business like, oh, I'm just going to wholesale, I'm just going to flip, I'm just going to flip. Well, you know what? It's not a deal. It's not a market for flipping. It's not a market for wholesale. It is a market for buying for your own portfolio. People have zero money sitting in the sidelines making 0.01% from the bank. You know what? You got to get and talk more. You got to get out and share more. You got to market more what's going on. But here's the thing. You can find the deals. And people can't or won't take action for themselves. That's why you don't pay them a 12% return. Unless they're a savvy investor and this is your last ditch effort for raising capital. Yeah, if you hang around investors that want 10 to 12, that's what you're going to pay. You got to go out and take that step out. Go out and find those folks that aren't going to pull the trigger themselves, that would rather write you a check because it's safer for them. And if they don't do something, their money is going to be lost. There's a lot of investors out there that may sit in the sidelines that would rather make 12%, but they don't have the deal flow. So you gladly make 6% to keep up with inflation. And that's where we, as note investors, that's where we thrive, is we solve those problems. You are in the perfect middle ground. If you find deals that are making double digit and people that need to make money, put yourself in the middle and be a deal engineer. Banks have been doing it since the first, okay? You got to quit waiting to start this stuff. So how do we spend the time doing this? Well, think about this. You got to spend half your time, half your free time finding deals, and the other half of the time raising funds. And there's some things that you'll be doing to do that that will cross over. What you do one thing will also work for you to do the both, okay? And I'm just giving you a quick highlight guide. If you're in our WECN crew, I go through this more in depth. You're through our one-on-one coaching. I go through a lot of this intensely. It's all customized for yourself. If you go through our 3-day workshop coming up in 2 weeks, we go through a lot of this in the second day. But you have to start connecting with note sellers and investors. That means jumping on the county records or going to different platforms or looking for people that have that. And then also the investors, you got to start connecting with them. Investors, not your real estate investors, not your people looking for 10 to 12 because then you're paying. And here's how do you find this folks? Well, you jump on with note sellers. You jump on LinkedIn and start searching for special asset marketing or special asset managers, secondary marketing managers, the whole loan trader. Start talking to those folks. Portfolio managers, start talking to LinkedIn. You start and create you you start and create you a newsletter on LinkedIn so that everybody that subscribes to your newsletter who sees it on your profile gets alert when you have a deal available. And you start posting on a regular basis. You start becoming a content expert in what's going on in the market, not just sharing an article, but actually commenting a sentence or two. You have to start sharing your knowledge because otherwise people are just going to see you for Jim Bob, the realtor, or Betty Sue, office worker, okay? Now, also leverage industry conventions. Now, I'm not talking about going to Distressed Mortgage Expo, Noteworthy Investor Summit, or even Note Expo. Great to go network, not going to help you find more deals or raise more funds. Why? Because it's the same crowd that you're with, and they're not bringing enough people to it anyway, okay? It's a lot of the same old. This is why I stopped speaking at industry conventions a couple of years back, because it was the same 100 people. And you'd be better, your time better spent and learn to thrive by tightening your belt a little bit instead of going out and visiting one of these, taking the time to leverage LinkedIn and connecting with true asset managers and talking with those people, okay? And building and growing your email database, of connecting with those folks using, like I said, LinkedIn or online platforms, or checking out the AOMs to connect with people, doing a little bit of due diligence, finding one source will make it 10 times more profitable for you than going out to an event and listening to the same 12 talking heads in the note industry, okay? And you start looking at deals. If you go to a couple of websites and just do some case study videos, guess what? That's a great way to show people that you know what the hell you're talking about. It's going to show investors like, oh, this is an interesting deal. It's also going to, guess what? It's going to show note sellers, oh, this guy is serious. He does know what the hell he's talking about. Oh, he's looking for funding on this deal. I can respect that. Okay. Now, the deal I just shared is in Anderson, Indiana. I didn't give you the address. You don't know who the seller of it is. Great. We have it under contract. That's all you need to know. That's a good deal and the number of things. If you agree with that, then I give you some more information. But it's a good deal on that. You can share the same specifics. Hey, I got a great deal. This is a 12 to 24 month deal, if less. Okay. But here's the thing, too. You have to tell people what you are looking for. If you are one of these people that just goes and likes Facebook posts or just likes, that's not helping you. That's not marketing. You have to literally tell people what you're looking for. And that's the one thing I'm telling my coaches, like, you have to share online what you're looking for. Hey, I buy notes. I'm looking for notes. I'm looking for deals, because so few people will post on there. Some people will buy a few assets and think, well, my shit doesn't stink. I'm badass. Well, they never market anymore. You have to market and tell people you're looking for, because guess what? They don't know. They don't know what you're looking for. I'm looking for notes to buy. I'm looking for funding. Pretty simple. I'm looking for deals. I'm looking for funding. If you want to put your money to work, let's talk. Okay. We'll take your lazy assets to work. Let's do it. Okay. And you got to forget about the trolls out there. I'm at the point where if I didn't have my Note Nation Facebook group, I wouldn't be on Facebook for the most part. I have my personal business profile. We've done really good of growing that as media. And that's all I really do on there is share our YouTube videos and stuff like that on there to help get the word out. But I've had so many people say, man, there's some groups out there that I posted something about a deal I'm working on. They just jumped on me. They didn't give me any help. It's just this armchair quarterback. So just forget about Facebook. F them. Okay. It's a new F word. Forget about them. Okay. You can leverage LinkedIn. You can leverage YouTube. You can leverage a few other things out there to make things much more fruitful for you. But I guess Facebook is a big time suck because you're scrolling. I find myself doing that. You got to get out of the way from the scroll because it's not helping you. Okay. And here's the thing about funding. And I forgot to put an animation on it. You have to help people find you out there. You know, the other half is marketing. We talked about there, jumping on LinkedIn and doing some things with that sellers and like going to the true like servicing conventions or going to their websites to find out who's attending and then contacting those companies. It's basically some of those conventions are giving away contacts for free. Okay. But the 50% of raising capital is going to be either through your content or experience. Now, if you have no experience, that's okay. Just share content, share deal flow. Hey, these are the types of deals that we do. Hey, guess what? You can use YouTube to create deal videos. We don't have to say they're 20 minutes long. They can be a 2-minute, 3-minute short little video. Hey, here's the deal that I'm working on right now. Here's the deal that I'm working on. Here's the deal of the week. Okay. And beautiful thing, there are platforms out there right now. Like I said, that I spent a few minutes, I found a lot of deals that will give you 12% or more greater. They're advertising, selling them as is right now at 12%. Now you can probably give them a little bit less, get a higher return. It's possible. We do it all the time. Okay. Why wouldn't you do it? Okay. Start connecting with funding sources. By funding sources, these are IRA investors, who have money sitting in an IRA, stuff like that out there, whether it's through the county records or connecting with people at networking groups. There's a whole variety of ways to do that. Like you could go and buy a list from a list source. You could jump on the county records. And you don't need 1,000 investors to start off with. You need really pull 100 leads, 100 contacts, and work that 100 contact list. Send a postcard the first time, a letter the first time, a postcard the second time, a third letter to those 100. And by the time you get to your third or fourth mailing piece, you'll have 5, 6, 7 people that respond back to you that will provide funding all you need. But you got to get to that 5th step. If you just do it one and it's done, you're not going to have people show up. You've got to build consistency. You got to learn to market on a daily, weekly basis for your business to thrive. Now, you can't just do it once a month. It's like, oh, I did it. No, that's bullshit. It's like telling your spouse, I love you once a month and that's it. That's not love. Okay. How are you telling your investors you love them? Because you're sending them stuff on a regular basis. I love you. I want to put your money to work for you. I want you to do better. I want to put your money to work for you. You have to think like this. You are offering them an opportunity, not begging for dollars. Now, a great thing to go to is go to other networking groups, not real estate investment clubs. I know it's important to be a part of REI clubs. I have to say that. That's more of a distribution and you're looking to sell. If you go to local networking groups, entrepreneurs, BNI, you'll raise more money there by being consistent and showing up and sharing what you do. Your pocket, while that is still a bit of a dumpster fire, if you use the keyword tool to search for 50K, 100K, 75K to invest, you'll get a ton of people that literally will say, I got 50K to invest. What should I do? You know what? I love you. You should invest with me. You should see what I do. Okay. And then same thing. We talked about having a newsletter for your LinkedIn Connects, Lauren. Same thing. Use your newsletter to share the deal of the week or a deal that you're working on. You'll be surprised who comes out of the woodwork. Yes, I still think it's valuable to look for note investors on LinkedIn. I think it's a valuable thing to find deals and raise capital. If you start going with an alternative group, like I say, you're in IT. Well, if you start targeting IT people, you're going to have to teach them how to reinvent the wheel because they're not going to understand it. Okay. And that's a hard road to go. Stick with investors, stick with people that have a self-directed IRA. At least they've understood it. Maybe they haven't pulled the trigger, but they at least gotten the heavy lifting out of the way to do that. And here's the thing, people are looking for 6% or greater. How do I know this? Because when I was a banker, going back to 2004, when CD rates were at 4%, oh my gosh, you had the CD wars. One bank would make it 4.25 or 4 1/8. And people would move their money across the street for 1/8 of a point. I'm going to move my money because I can get 4.5 instead of 4 1/4. And the banks used to do all sorts of giveaways, whether it was like a Yeti or a toaster. The most successful one, we had these Chinese New Year coins. Oh my God. These 2 gold coins of the Chinese New Year. People would move hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a couple coins. You have to realize, people, if you could pay somebody 6%, there's a whole lot of people out there that would move put a lot of money with you to do that. You just have to help them find you. They don't know about you. They don't sit at home at ESPN, Dr. X, Xavier, sitting there with his mind machine. Oh, you must go invest with Linda Martin. You must go invest with RJ Santiago. You must go invest with Marcia. They're not doing that. You have to get in front of them. And that's either networking, that's either sending a postcard, yell letter, or connecting with them some sort of fashion. You got to do this. Okay. You just have to help them find you. Now, this finding deals and finding funding, it's really what we do. That's about 99% of what you're going to do. And you got to look at and think about what your future worth is. If I would have talked about you have to realize there is so much opportunity out there. T. Miller, you asked a question: at what point does the cost of money or interest become an obstacle to doing a deal and not making it profitable endeavor going forward? I'd say when you if you look at your money, if a deal's going to pay you $400 a month, how much of that $400 do you have to pay towards your interest? You got to run the numbers. I'm a big believer that I want to be making at least double what I'd be paying my investor. So if the deal's going to be making 24%, then I could go to 12%. But if it's paying 10 or if it's paying 20, I can't really go above 10. If it's going to pay 14, I can't really go above 7. So you have to look at that for yourself. Performing notes or reperforming notes, you're going to see something in the teens. So that means you're going to be 6 or 7% cost of money. If you're buying non-performing where you get a yield, yeah, you can go a little bit higher than that, but it all depends too. It doesn't really matter what the cost of money is. I mean, it does, forgive me, but you have to ask people. You have to quit being scared to start the conversation of asking them, hey, what have you been doing the last 24 months? What have you been doing the last 24 months? Have you done anything the last 20? No, it's just been sitting there, so it's been making 0. Great, I'll give you 6% to do nothing. I'll give you 8% to do nothing. You don't have to do any work. You'll start returning. I'll pay you on a quarterly basis. That's where it is. Because it's not about the cost of money. Because most of the time, if you're worried about the cost of money, it's because you haven't gone out and talked to people. You're going to be lazy about having that conversation. Oh, I got a great deal, but you don't know what your cost of money is. Blech. You got to do both at the same time. It doesn't do any good to go find deals if you don't have money. If the deal's not going to yield a good return, it's a skinny deal, and you're only got investors that want 12%, and then a skinny deal doesn't make any sense. Does that make sense, T? You got to talk to people. That's what it is. You have to talk to people. And most of you aren't talking to people. You're not communicating. You're not marketing. You're not networking. You're sitting at home scared behind your computer, your laptop, or whatever it is. Or you go and you're a wallflower. Or you go out networking and you don't talk to anybody. Or all you do is like posts. Or you spend hours and hours just being a keyboard warrior. Okay? And I have to ask you, what's your future worth? What's it worth to you? If a deal is paying a 12% ROI, it should say how. I said it should say what return are you seeing if you use other people's money? If an interest rate, and this goes straight to T's question, if a deal is paying 12%, what return are you seeing? Is if you use other people's money. Now it all depends on what that other people's money. Here's the point. If it's a 12% return and you're paying 6, are you seeing 6%? No. You're making an infant return. Now if the bank borrows money at 1%, but then makes a loan for 6% on it, what is their ROI? 5%? No, 500%. The banks borrowing money, basically, if you put money with a bank and they give you 1% and they go out and make loans at 6%, that's a 5% difference, but it's actually a 500% profit margin. They're making 5 times what they're paying out. You have the same capabilities. If you're paying somebody 6% and the deal's making 12, you're making 200%. Really an infinite rate of return because you're not using your own money if you want to get to the nuts and bolts of it. But how many deals like that do you need to finance it? And here's the thing. If you're worried about not having the time to find deals or market, you got to look at the Pareto principle. Okay. The Pareto, where 80% of sales are made from 20% of your activities. It was the same thing. Kind of 80% of your profits come from 20% of your activities. Look at your activities. Take time to look at your activities on a daily basis. Now, I get it, but there's some folks on here that work a ton. I get it. You've got a beast of the boss man or the career you're in, you're working 50, 60 hours a week. I know you guys that are on there. You got to just, I understand it. You're 80% of your profits come from 80% of your activity because 80% of your time is focused on work. But for a lot of folks that are working 40 hours a week, just 40, that leaves a whole lot of hours left for you to do something else. Work out, binge watch a lot of Netflix. And we're all guilty of doing that. You're going to have good days and bad days. But look at your activities, because I guarantee if you're only truly leveraging 20%, there's 80% of your time that you can squeeze down. You can squeeze 10% out of that 80% lost time and put it to your business. Start looking at your activities that you're doing it. What activities can you eliminate that are non-productive? This will help you find time to market. It will help you find time to find deals. Or, I really like that, that Bridgerton. Damn, that's a great series. All right. Bridgerton, woo, that's great. Look, I get it. You're going to have some downtime, some mental. Trust me, I enjoy that too. Not Bridgerton, but I enjoy relaxing and watch a little TV. It takes my mind off things. But can you get up an hour early? What can you do for the next 24 to 36 months that puts in a little bit of extra work in your side hustle that will help you monetize things now to help you so you don't have to work so hard the rest of your life? And that's what you have to ask, is 24 to 36 months of crunching overtime worth the rest of your life? Not overtime at the job. I'm talking about putting in that second job. That second job is that job of YOU. Now, it could be getting up. Maybe notes is just a hobby. And that's fine. You've worked hard. You got money. That's great. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to all those out there that aren't where they need to be. Okay. You've got to put in 12 to 36 months of work to live a life that most others would dream about. Okay. Or you can let your current situation dictate your success. I'm happy where I am. I'm content. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with the status quo. I'm not. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not. You are the only person that determines your success or failure, right? Everybody, you determine your success or failure. Nobody else, not your spouse, not your husband, wife, girlfriend, kids. You determine your success. If you're not happy, then do something about it. If you're not happy making enough money, then do something different. If you're not happy with how you are physically, get up and work out. It's too hot. Get up early. Okay. Eat less. Eat a salad instead of chicken fried steak. We're in Texas. I know it's hard. I don't want to eat chicken fried steak at 110-degree heat. Woo! Be passing out. Food coma. But a salad would be pretty good. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you got to lean up. Spend a little time on your business. Spend time on making yourself a better investor to make things happen. You got to tighten up to thrive, honestly. If you have all this extra stuff, you're going to drift away. You're going to lose a lot of your momentum from stuff that's dragging you down. And the biggest question is like, I don't have the time or the money. That's a bunch of bullshit. You don't need your own money to buy notes, and you don't need a lot of time. 10, 15 hours a week, you can be a note investor. Okay. You can be a real estate investor 10 to 15 hours a week. Okay. Think about this. Well, I don't have the money. Well, let's see what you spend your money on. How many streaming services do you have? We were talking about that at lunch. All these streaming services. So you got some people that have got multiple streaming services, 20, 40, 60, 80. That's great. Other people are like, oh, I have one and I have access to my sister. So that's great. But you think about that, what people are paying for streaming services these days, or entertainment. Think about how many times you eat out each week. Okay. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, that's a lot of money. Okay. Or just simple, how much cups of coffee do you buy each week? Woo, Starbucks. I don't even have to walk in. I just kind of wave my wallet and they charge me my skinny cappuccino. You get what I'm saying? That was one of the biggest things. Like I got good coffee here. I'll pay $8 for a good can of coffee because it will save me $100 in Starbucks. Okay. And $100 can buy a lot of stamps. It can go out. That's buy 200 stamps to go out to IRA investors. One thing I started doing, getting up an hour earlier, getting up to get out and walk a little bit. Won my health a bit, lost some weight, losing some weight, tighten up, sweating my ass off by 10, 30, 11 o'clock. But you know what? Get up to market your business. Get up a little bit early before you have to show up at your terminal or whatever to do something for business. Start LinkedIn, to post an article, do something, okay? If your family's not supportive, oh, whatever. You know what? Ask them to help. What? They're not supportive. They're not going to help. Have them do some simple things. Hey, can you create me a logo? Or can you help me with my video? Or hey, can you help me send out these letters? And what's the letters for? These are to IRA investors. Really? They will be amazed at the knowledge that you share with them, because most people that aren't supportive, they come from an avenue of fear. They don't believe they can do it. So they don't believe, since you come from their loins or their bloodline, that you could do it either. And you'll surprise them. All right. Ask them to help you. It'll go a long way. Okay. They will see you taking action and hold you accountable. If you start sloughing off, guess what? They're going to say, oh, just another thing that you did. You have to start taking action. Ask them to get involved. They will support you and be glad to help support you on your dreams. And here's the thing. If you have friends, family, people that you're not married to or share a last name, blood, or a bed with, it's hard to cut those folks out. I get it. You just got to start doing things differently, because you've got to take it one day at a time, an hour, getting up early, making yourself. They may not be supportive at first, but you know what? After time, after a couple weeks, 3-4 weeks of seeing you do things, they're going to see some changes in you. And they will get supportive. If not, they'll be gone. Okay. So I learned a lot from 2008, 2010. I learned a tremendous amount about myself in those 2 years. And I learned about, it was one of the roughest times in recession, but I learned a lot about 2008. One of the things I learned is I didn't buy enough assets like I should have, looking back now. Woo, boy, the world was on sale. The United States was on sale like never before. I will not make that same mistake again, okay? I also learned that I let my bank account balance affect my actions and the bids I faced. I'll never, ever let that be affected by that again, okay? I should have marketed a ton more. I should have. I was doing a lot of marketing, but I should have done a lot more. I should have taken extra steps. I should have done and shared a little bit each day. One more post each day, or another email that went out. Should have done a lot more, because I would have raised a whole lot more capital and closed a whole lot more deal. I let my lack of experience stop me from talking to people. Okay, I did. Oh no, I haven't done a lot of those, so I won't talk to them. No, I should talk to everybody, because I found out that a lot of folks that had more experience than me would have been loved to have talked to me, because I had a niche and I had an advantage that they didn't know about. Or I could have been valuable to them, and we've been made money, and I could have closed a whole lot more deals. And I should have eliminated negative Nancy a whole lot too. I got divorced in 2008. That was kind of getting rid of one. Bless her heart. Wish her well. But then another one, 2010, got rid of, thank God. Bless her heart. Wish her well. Okay. You have to realize, in a lot of cases, guys, you maybe you're best friends with some folks. You just got to step away for a little bit, and they will start to respect you. If they don't respect you for you taking action and standing up for yourself, then they were never meant to be a part of your life. Your friends should support you. That should be a one-way street. We've all had relationships where it was a one-way street. Everything was for that one person. When it came down to you needing your time, your space, your energy, their support, we get that. We've all been there, done that, had the postcards, got the stab wounds to prove, right? T-shirt. What you have to realize, ladies and gentlemen, if that negative Nancy is living in the 4 to 6 inches between your ears, you've got to start on you first. And maybe you need a big kick in the ass to make things happen. Okay. Maybe you need to seek counsel instead of listening to others' advice, because here's the thing. Advice is like assholes. Everybody has one. So seek counsel from somebody who's at where you want to be or is going where you want to be, not from somebody who's never done it. And that's the best, that's the best advice I can give you. Talk to people who have been there, done that. Quit listening to people that haven't done it or haven't bought assets or not doing things, or they bought 1 or 2 or small things. There's a guy out there that makes a circuit. He bought $1 million house years ago, some weird way, and he sold a course about it. And he reached out to me, and I know his backstory. He bought $1 million house and tried to make a program out of it. And how he did it was so unique. It only worked on one way. It was such a lucky thing that doesn't work the rest of the way that way. I'm not looking to have him. I don't want him because he doesn't have any counsel for me. He's not going to add anything to what I'm doing on a daily basis. I'm looking for the asset managers. I'm looking for other people who are doing bigger and better things. And you'll see some of that. We've got some really great things lined up with the podcast and folks. So you'll hear and see me picking people's brains, not only to help benefit myself, but to help benefit you guys. Okay. And here's the thing. The minute I started betting on myself, I won. If some of you may know that story where I sold basically everything in roughly 2010 and went on a road trip for a couple of years. That was scary, but I bet on myself. Most people don't know that I was in a very rough patch right before I went on the road. That I said, I'll bet on myself. I'll remove the negative Nancy. I'll remove the negative comments, and I'll believe on myself. I believe in all of you. You all have the capability of doing huge things the next 12, 24, and 36 months. Okay. Nancy, I can understand why you would prefer to call them negative Nellies instead of Nancy's. Yes. I would agree there. Negative Nellies in Nancy's cases, right? Nancy's not negative. She's positive. All right. But that's the thing. Bet on yourself. Start betting on yourself instead of other people. Start betting on yourself to take action. Start betting yourself that when you send a marketing piece out, people are going to like it. You know, we did the whole Note Night in America before the 4th of July. We talked about Stuart Smalley. Doggone, I'm smart enough, I'm good enough, and people like me. Start betting on yourself, because the minute I start betting on myself, it was a mind-changing experience. Like, I know I can do this. I can make things happen. You knock me down, but you're never going to keep me down. And we've all been knocked down in the last couple of years in a variety of fashions, right? So believe in yourself to thrive, all right? Everyone starts with the first step. You know, if you need a picture of Jeff Bezos at his desk with his Amazon flyer in the one through there and then driving his Honda, that's a great thing. Whatever it means, everyone starts with the first step. You got to take that first step, okay? And here's the thing, guys and gals, there are plenty of deals out there with double-digit ROIs. Get one deal, make an offer, fund a deal, get you some money coming in, because that first deal is going to have that confidence factor just exponentially go. When you close your first deal, wow, this was easier than I expected. There's a lot of moving parts, but this is freaking awesome. There's plenty of private money out there making less than 1% right now that would love to make 6. Okay. Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions. We're going to have a guy on next week, next No Night in America, they're talking about how to have people contacting you. All right. You realize that note investing has been around for centuries. You don't need to prove a concept. It's been around, been there, done that. Okay. All right. If you're looking for a recording of this, you can always go to weclosenotes.tv. It's my YouTube channel, and it'll be there. It's going live right now on there. Hey, everybody on YouTube. And we'll send a link out tomorrow with the replay link for everybody too. So Amanda, I think that was who asked that. But here's the thing. You don't have to prove concept. It's been there. If you're scared about the concept, leverage your vendors. You're scared about your lack of experience, leverage your vendors' experience and your coaches, ding, 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 who are here to help you, okay? Quit wasting time with fake book and the trolls. Quit letting their negative Nellies mindset dictate what you do or don't do. And you got to realize that most of those trolls, most of those negative Nellies aren't doing shit anyway. So don't listen to them. Get up, dust them off, and go do something. You guys are all capable of this, and we can all do more to achieve more. And I truly believe that the next 12, 24, 36 months are going to be one of so much success and wealth being made because we are going to thrive. Note investors, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is time. We've been a little quiet the last 2 years because everything, delaying things, but guess what, baby? Hopefully you've been pumping that iron. All right, you've been getting ready to rock and roll and make things. If you're brand into it, guess what? There's never been a better time to get in the note space right now. Best time, 12 years ago. Best time, second best time, right now, okay? So we can all do more to achieve more, and I truly believe that. And here's the thing, if you think about it, if you add one deal each month, just one, this will get you to where you need to be in 12, 24, 36 months. I don't know what your number needs to be, but if you're doing at 12 months, let's just say 250 is what you take home. 250. 12 deals. At the end of the year, you'll have at least 3,000 coming in monthly to you. At the end of 24 months, year 2, you'll have 6 monthly coming in. At the end of 3 years, you'll have 9K monthly coming in. That's if you're just buying one deal at just 250 a month coming to you. That should be your number. I need to see 250 a month coming in. At least more than 200 to you. That's what I would say. Especially if it's a performing note, okay, it's got seasoning, gets me at 200 a month, that makes it worthwhile. But here's the thing, if you do this and you commit, that's 36 deals to bring in and create a 100-year cash flow to you, 100 plus, because not every deal is going to stay performing. You're going to buy some non-performing, turn into big checks. But if you focus on getting 36 deals of performing, that's really FU money. That means that's shut up money. I can work this month or I cannot work this month. It's up to you. I'm still going to make 100 grand a year. And that's the thing about 36 deals. That means there are 36 investors. I guarantee you right now, there are more than 36 investors out there that would fund a deal that's going to pay them 6%. Each and all of you could find 36 investors. There are 36 investors standing between you and your dreams. Now, they'll want to get on the train because they don't want to get run over by you. They may not fund immediately because they don't know you're out there. They don't know that you and the money train are on the road to success. You've got to share with them. You've got to talk with them. You've got to let them know the opportunities that you have available to them because you're offering them a solution. You're offering them an opportunity to solve their problems, okay? And the question I'm going to ask you guys here is, what are you going to do? Are you going to thrive or are you just going to survive? We want to thrive. I want you to thrive. Everyone on here is capable of doing it, but you have to make some adjustments. It all depends not on me, not on my podcast, not my webinars, not my classes. It depends on you and you alone. All right. Now, any questions, any comments, any concerns out there for you guys? I truly believe that's your plan. Take a look at your schedule. Carve out an hour a day. Spend half that time or one day of that hour looking and spending some time to find deals. The other half, marketing what you're doing. And we go through a lot of variety of things. We'll talk more about that during our class here. Once again, if you're interested in this Anderson, Indiana note, please drop me an email at scott@weclosenotes.com and we set up a phone call to talk tomorrow. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,400 square foot. Payoff is 103, value somewhere around mid-90s. Conservatively as it sits. Needs a little bit of work, it's about $5 grand worth, but not much, but it's a reverse mortgage. Or is deceased. So our goal on this is not to get reperformed, it is basically to foreclose and either sell the REO at the foreclosure auction at 103 or 95, or if we take it back, put a little bit of work into it, $5 grand for cleanup, and then list it and sell it as a REO at full market value. And like I said, minimal cleanup. We've had people go into the house and review it. We've got access to it. It's a great little neighborhood in Anderson, Indiana. Like I said, we're looking for 55K funding partner for a 12 to 24 month period. If your money's not making you 6% or greater, let us know. We're glad to talk with you. And once again, guys, our next 3-day workshop is July 22nd to the 24th. That's not this coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you can get signed up by going to notebuyingfordummies.com. That's the link. It should still give you an early bird discount to tap into the deals. And we'll show you how to find, fund, and flip. Show you how to find deals on Friday, how to fund the deals on Saturday, and how to make money on Sunday. And I wholly encourage you. If it's not the best workshop, we'll refund your money back. No questions asked. So get signed up today. We look forward to seeing you at the top. But any other questions, comments, concerns before we let you go tonight? Once again, my email is scott@weclosenotes.com. You can always book a call with me by going to talkwithscottcarson.com and book a time on my schedule that works for your schedule as well. So thank you, everybody, for showing up. Note Night America.